All right, guys, buckle up because we have a very cool disc on our hands today. Discraft just announced a partnership with Seppo Paju, who is now the official captain of Discraft Team Europe. And to celebrate, we got a custom Seppo disc on our hands today, and that is the Captain's Caliber. Now, big thank you to Discraft for sending this my way, and we actually have an official word from Seppo about the disc. Designed to fill the gap between the Luna and the Zone, a low-profile driving putter that feels great on both touch and power shots. Now, I will say, when I felt this disc, one of my very first thoughts was, this kind of feels like an Envy. You guys know I absolutely love the Envy and the Proxy, and this kind of has that similar low-profile putter hand feel that makes me very excited. So Seppo did spoil the flight a little bit. He saw on Instagram that he's thinking the numbers will be somewhere in the ballpark of 3302. Not official yet, but probably gonna be around there, which makes sense for kind of a driving putter that's a little bit on the faster side. I've not thrown it yet, but this is a great hole to start on. 267-foot downhill, straight par 3. Curious to see if this is straight or has some overstability. But if Seppo's saying this is a 2 fade, then I trust that we will see at least a little bit of hookup. Oh yeah, that is a beauty. And there's that fade at the end. Absolutely love that. Way deep in the basket though. So first throw, nice and flat, no flutter, super clean release and very torque resistant. You saw that fade off at the very end. And this is 172 grams. Ooh, but before we start throwing too much, we gotta talk hand feel, because that's really what makes this disc so unique for Discraft's lineup. Just a little bit thinner than the Luna, or the Luna has more of a convex, rounded bottom wing shape. The Caliber has a much flatter bottom wing shape and a little bit of a micro bead. Best comparison by far is this Envy. You can see here the profiles are so similar and they both have that very flat top, which I really value in my putters. But now we got a 233-foot par 3 baskets on the mound. We gotta give it some height, gotta keep it really straight. Again, probably flat to a little bit of Anheuser. Yeah, look at it fight out of that. We got the distance perfect, but you see that strong fade out at the end of the flight. And again, that's why I'm thinking the Envy makes sense here. So let's try the Envy and the Luna for comparison's sake. Let's go first with the Luna. Now, Lunas are notoriously straighter than the flight numbers indicate. And that one I put out quite a bit further left, but you could see pretty straight flight. That's part of the reason why I feel like the Caliber is a good middle ground between the Luna and the Zone. Because the Lunas are straighter than a lot of people might want. Zones are pretty darn overstable, but the Envy, right in between. So you put that on Anheuser and it comes out the overstable finish. Yeah, those flights, very similar. But for me, having that slimmer hand feel than the Luna is super important for my driving off the tee with a putter, because I power grip all of my putters if I'm throwing them and not putting them. And having a thinner disc really helps me get a clean release consistently with that power grip. Look at that, it putts too. Now you might be thinking, well, isn't the middle ground between a Luna and a Zone a Kratos, or maybe even like a Zone SS? And what makes this disc stand out against them is that the Kratos is literally just a Luna with a bead. So the bead just makes it deeper, which is the opposite of what I'm looking for. Stability pretty similar to a Kratos, but having the lower profile, again, that's huge. And the Zone SS has a hand feel very similar to the Zone, which is very different from your typical putter. And while this isn't exactly your typical putter, it's a lot closer to the traditional putter shape than something like the Zone. 237-foot par 3, straight ahead, there's trees to the right. We gotta hang out to the left, put it on some Anheuser. Yeah, we gotta see it fight out for us. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. Put it up a little bit too high. We brushed up against that low ceiling. That puts us inside of circle 1, so can't complain. But again, let's just test out Luna here. I want to test the Luna because the Luna, it's an all-time classic. I'm definitely not going to say something is just better than the Luna. I'm not that type of guy saying something strictly better or worse, you know, different strokes for different folks. But because the Caliber is so similar to the throwing putters I'm already bagging, that's huge points in its favor. A little bit of Anheuser. Oh, that's a beauty actually. That's a beauty. So you can see there's a little bit of fade on the Luna, but not a lot of fade. Let's go Envy. Plenty Anheuser, fading out at the end. We got Envy and Luna, both inside a bullseye here. Went freaking deep with the caliber, but I can already tell this is the type of putter that I can just throw as hard as I want, and it is not going to accidentally turn over on me ever. And this ESP has a good amount of flex to it. It's definitely a little bit on the gummy side. Because this is a Testilento test flight, no tooling on the inside of the rim. So if you're someone who really likes that tooling where it says Discraft and the name of the disc embossed into it, I actually really like that for grip purposes. Call me weird, I don't know. I just do. But it does not have that. But now I really want to just throw this thing hard and see what happens. So we got a nice wide open shot here. It's a par 4. We're not going to play the whole hole, but we're just going to see how it handles the power. Yeah. See, I feel like I don't have to pull any punches with this guy. It's not going to accidentally turn over on me, but it doesn't have like the aggressive overstability of like a zone style disc. Like a Toro, a Harp, or an Entropy, those overstable approach discs, it's definitely not on that level of overstability, which allows it to maintain its glide, allowing it to fly farther and have a straighter flight. Also, I'm sorry if all you see is mosquitoes on your screen, because that is how it feels out here. It is just pure mosquitoes. And I also know, probably sounds like I'm just glazing this disc, but the reason is because this is just my favorite art type of disc. And I really feel like every company should have a competitor in this slot. And it's a tragedy that not every company has. But Discraft, they're doing a good job at it here. 192 foot par 3, straight uphill. There's trees to the right, there's trees to the left. We're gonna try to go up the middle. All right, pretty flat. Oh, it looks so good. No. I thought I was about to get the first captain's caliber ace of all time. I'll settle for the park job though. And guys, that does it for the captain's caliber. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. Are you excited to pick one up? I think it immediately enters the marketplace as a direct competitor to the Envy, which is great. We need more Envy competitors out there, and a type of disc that I pretty much throw every single round. Now, if you're looking to pick up any discs, you can do so at this channel's sponsor, Disc Golf Deals USA. Caliber, it releases in Europe first, so you can't pick up a Caliber at Disc Golf Deals USA, but they got a bunch of other discs, and you can use my affiliate link in the description below to get 10% off your entire order. It's a sick deal, and you support the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. If you got any questions about the Caliber, let me know what they are down below in the comments. You can also follow me on Instagram at Flying Fajita Disc Golf or UDisc Community at Flying Fajita. As always, guys, I love you. Take care. I'll see you next time.